I'm on mute. Good morning. Good day. It's always a fluke, isn't it, with me? Greetings to you all. Happy Saturday and welcome to the Peak Wellness Hour, brought to you by Peak Homecare Associates, located here in Noblesville, Indiana. We're so grateful to be back with you. I want to apologize, first of all. Last week we were supposed to be back on, and I woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning with a splitting migraine. And I'd had a headache the day before, and I was trying to nurse it. And Queen Edith was all ready to go that morning, but I was debilitated in bed for the day. So my sincere apologies. I know I got some reach outs asking if we were on and what was going on. So we appreciate the love, we appreciate the support, and I sincerely do apologize. That was solely on me. I tell you, this queen was ready. She always is. And Home Care Associates is certainly ready for you. So welcome. Queen, go ahead.
Hey, Angelina, I'm excited. It's 2024. Happy New Year, friends, family,
Yes.
followers, fans, and all caregivers out there. It's we are thankful for another year. It's a reset. So we I believe this is another opportunity to to bring to you our best, to ensure that we are giving you our best. It's a new year, it's a new season. I don't know if it's a new you. I don't believe a new year, new you thing. I don't think it's magic. It involves work. New you takes work. So if you have been doing all the work all through 2023, then welcome to the opportunity for the display or the show of the new you. But until then, I say new year, new seasons, new opportunities for us to be better, to do better, to serve better, and to give ourselves of better, to serve everyone within our community well. So I'm excited. I hope your new
Yes.
year is treating you well. And thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for reaching out. Good to know that you are counting the days. You look forward to seeing us. We look forward to seeing you too. So thank you for being here indeed. And listen, if you're watching this, do us this honest, please humor us and share this video. We have something that somebody needs to know about. So please share this video. Thank you very much.
Yes, yes. All right. I like what you just said. Grand Rising Queen Kathy B. Grand Rising Queen. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you always. You said something about serving, right? And I
Yes.
think that is so important. This is a new season. I've seen so many people talk about on social media selfishness. That's what I see in posts. This year I'm going to be selfish. This year it's about me. This year I'm not helping. And it seems like it's this mindset where people have been so overwhelmed, right? So overworked, so stressed out that they are reverting not only into looking into self-care, but it seems almost passive aggressive to where there's some animosity behind it. So I want to encourage you all to find a balance, especially as caregivers, right? And be able to continue to serve in a healthy manner. We all have to do it, whether we want to or not. And a lot of us don't realize that we serve one another, whether you're opening the door for someone at the gas station, whether you're saying a kind word. Servitude is what humanity is about, right? So we want to make sure that you are well balanced in your caregiving and your servitude in life, whether you are a family member giving care or a healthcare provider, whether you are a friend, a family member of someone that doesn't need healthcare. We want you to find a good balance, right? We have to have a good balance here with Peak Home Care to care for one another and serve one another, right?
Right.
And it's a pleasure, right? So we want to be able to have you all feel comfortable in that balance in life. So definitely reach out to us, and I'll put the information at the bottom so that you can do that. Have the information to get in contact with us.
And I would like to add something to the selfishness. never pays off.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Everything we do, and I'm coming from a biblical perspective, but even outside of that, I do believe that everything we do on a daily basis, everything we do in this life, is a seed we are planting. We are not saying serve others to your own detriment.
Mm-hmm.
But take care of yourself so that whilst you're standing on your 2 feet, someone can lean on you and be able to stand. If I lean on you and you fall, you are not strong and you are not ready. But it shouldn't lead to selfishness. Selfishness never works for anybody. It may seem like all is going well, it's all about you. But life has a very interesting way of flipping things around, so much so that you will be the person needing help and you would hope that someone
Mm-hmm.
will do that for you. So in a new
Mm-hmm.
year, I encourage you, take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, get your physicals done. Whatever it is you need, get walking. Don't stop exercising. Be healthy, be strong, be mentally sound, body, soul, spirit
Mm-hmm.
together. But in the process, if there's anything you can lend to somebody to make their day better, it's worth it. Because for whatsoever you sow, and every day we sow with our words, we sow with our actions, we sow with our inner thoughts, we sow with everything we say and do, we will reap it. It's a nature thing. If you like agriculture, you put anything to the ground, you water it, it will grow and you will eat the fruits thereof. So what you're doing now, what fruits will it yield a year from now, a month from now, 2 months from now?
Oh, Quinn, you took the words right out of my mouth. I feel like we about to have a session here. You
I
took the
know,
words right out of my mouth. So powerful. I was gonna say the same thing as far as reaping what you sow and realizing, like you said, we don't serve to our detriment, but find blessings in serving. And if you think about it, it seems like a lot of times we don't think about reaping and sowing being tied into blessing. It seems like it's more so a concept of responsibility and habitual um I don't know, occurrences, right? You do this is what happens, kind of automatic, but if you understand the blessing in it, you do understand that to be able to actually plant and grow a harvest, you want to see the fruit. But if you have an apple tree, you can't eat all the apples. So why not help feed someone else? Why not? You see how that blessing works? We have to start thinking
right,
like that, especially with healthcare providers. I want to talk to healthcare providers right now. We have to stop thinking I can't, for me personally as a nurse, that go into work and it's a paycheck, yada yada. There's lots of ways to make money. For me, it's about the servitude, and you can't pay me enough. And it's not, but you can have it all, for what I do. It's priceless what we do. It's certainly a blessing. So I want healthcare providers this year to think about that. When you call in to work, un, you know, unexpectedly, and getting well 2 days ago you weren't coming in, have some courtesy for the people that are there, trusting that you're going to be there to care for them. Find balances in the workplace where it's a healthy place to be, because if you're working in facilities, you're in someone else's home, you know and imagine living in a community home, right? That's not your own really, but it is. We need to have a different mindset of respect for one another this year. You can say no to other people to say yes to yourself, but say yes to greatness, say yes to success. And I guarantee you, everyone around you will win with that. Try it out. I promise you, try it out.
and I'll piggy this back on our topic today, the core of Peak, how Peak came about, and why. Um, It's interesting how Peak was birthed. It's interesting how you look at life a certain way. You know, we all grow up with goals and aspirations, and we want to be a certain somebody. You know, we have our life. Like once you know your purpose, you have your life pictured in a certain way. My background is in business administration, okay, and theology and ministry and marriage and family counseling. This is who I know I am. This is especially when it comes to ministry, marriage and family counseling, mental health. Basically, this is who I believe I am. But if you know that I'm an immigrant from West Africa, Ghana, okay, and when you come here initially, it takes time for you to assimilate into the system. In the meanwhile, you have to have a place to live. In the meanwhile, you have to be able to put food on the table. You have to take care of your family. So one of the easiest thing, everybody said, just do home care until you find out what you want to do. I did not. I did not. I ended up in the property management industry. I worked with a concierge company in Washington, D.C., called Capital Concierge. Prior to that, I was a human resource director in an American company in Ghana. The company, we received we outsourced data. So we processed for United Healthcare, almost all the insurance companies, as well as UPS and FedEx. So that's the company. We had over 1,000 employees. Out of it, about 800 or 900 were female, and I was responsible for these people. At the same time, I served as the executive assistant to the executive and to the corporate representatives who found themselves in Ghana. I was responsible for them. So I did have a huge job. So home care, go and clean, excuse me, in my mind at the time, somebody's bath. You kidding me? That's for the uneducated person. It's not for me. And that is the truth of where I started from. So I did not go I didn't do where I was in property management. We were concierge services, front desk management, event planning. And I'm a people person. So customer service for me was second nature. Okay. And then the income was not enough, especially after they made me a manager of a couple of properties. Income was still not enough. So I had to figure out how to make extra money. And so I had a roommate who was doing home care, and she was making more money than I was making as a manager. So I decided to take this home care part-time, one-on-one part-time over the weekends. And that's what I did until I got married and we came to the state of Indiana. I looked for work, and in the process, I also got my bachelor's degree. How do you say? I looked for work, and my husband at the time was a bishop, so we traveled to work a lot. And so people will hire me, look at my resume, be impressed, and then drop me because I was not on the job as often as they needed me to. And somebody said, why don't you just do home care? So I started doing home care. Home care, I could travel and come back and still be able to, be able to keep my job. So it worked for me. Over the years, I felt strongly led to start my own agency. But why did I start it? Why did I start? I worked with a couple of about 3 or 4 agencies in the state of Indiana. They were great agencies. They were good to the employees. I mean, they were good to me to the best of their ability as everything professionally and everything would allow. But one thing that I realize is that a lot of the time you find buddies. They had so many clients, shifts had to be covered, and people showed up not knowing what to do, not well trained. Did they have the heart for the client? the heart for the client. Being a people person, being a pastor, being a woman in ministry, being a woman who serves other women, travel the world sharing the word of God, helping other women, doing projects with other women, shelters, doing all those things, going to shelters, helping, the heart was there. The difference is the capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So while I continued and still continue to work as a home care companion, or right now a home health aide, as I continue to do that, I also started this home care agency. One thing I bring to the table is compassion. You can't take it away from me. You can't insult compassion out of me. You can't say anything about me that will stop me from being compassionate to you, because I feel like it's not about me. I feel like I don't know your journey. I feel like I have not been your age. I have not been in the situation you are in. I have not walked in your shoes. I don't know why you'll be upset. I don't know why you will be bitter. I don't know why you will even be mean sometimes through your words, but I do know that something has led to that. So in this moment, in this time, in the 4 hours or the 2 hours or the 8 hours or however many hours I am with you, how do I add value to your life? How do you, when I leave, how would you remember me? I have a client who keeps saying, anytime I see you, I am happy because you're so gentle with me. You are not rough with me. Why can't we do this for the people we serve? My mother always says something, and may her beautiful soul rest in peace. My mother will always tell me, Edith, if you throw a ball to the wall, it comes right back at you. And like what we were saying, whatever seeds you will sow, you will reap. Will I live to be 80? I do not know. You talked about money and the financial reward. There's nothing wrong with it. We have to be rewarded. We work in order to be able to take care of our homes, our families, do what we need to do. But why should it be just about the money?
Mm-hmm.
Why should it be just about the money? If it's all about the money, listen, there's so many things you can do to make money. Honestly, home care doesn't pay that much anyway. There are businesses
Healthcare doesn't.
that
Healthcare doesn't.
yeah.
And then I want you all to understand that's very but healthcare doesn't. When you see these $1,000 in bills, that doesn't go towards the nurses and the aides and the home health, that are on the floor working. That goes to business men and women that have CEO behind their names. The only difference with Peak Homecare is your CEO that you're looking at gets on the floor and works, goes in the field and works, so it's dispersed. And so when you look at that, no, it's the money is, it doesn't add up as far as the workload, and I think maybe, for me, I think I do deserve to be paid more, in healthcare anywhere. All of us do, because the cost of health care, and because but that's what I was saying. I don't mind taking a pay cut to know that seniors and anyone in needing healthcare can afford it. You know what I'm saying? If I'm making $20 some an hour and I don't think that's enough, well, if I need a raise, does that mean that Mr. Smith has gone from paying $4,500 a month to paying $5,000 a month so everybody can get a raise? That's not how that should work. But that's what's going on when, they're taking, they're shifting money between clients and patients and residents and key healthcare providers. They're shifting that money so they can keep it on the top. And that's why it is important. That's why what Peak Home Care does, is important because, like I said, we all can hit that field and be, and do patient care, and we're willing to. And it's very personable. I think when it comes to the money and how we behave as healthcare providers, in facilities mainly, it's overload. If you get to work at 7 and breakfast starts at 8:30 and you have 10 people to get up, how do you think that's going to play out? I'm not trying to be rough with you, but come on, I need you. Come on, let me help you. I need you getting this. Now you're rushing and now it looks rough and aggressive. You're just trying
Right.
to really get the job done. Before somebody stops you in the hall and says, I've been looking for you. Where's so and so? I'm just like, so I think that's where the burnout comes in at. And so with the finances, with the money, it doesn't matter. If you can't find a well balance in your life, you have all this PTO time and here comes December, you got 110 hours and it doesn't roll over, but you can't take PTO because they're short staffed. So then they let it roll over. Okay, so it rolls over, but you still needed that break. So I think that with healthcare, with home health, especially with what we do here at Peak, we do prevent burnout, right? We don't, the overload is not there, the freedom is there, the balance is there, and that is how it should be with any job, period, but especially with healthcare when we are taking care of other people. Because at 42 years old, I'm just going to be honest. Don't take this any kind of way. And that's why we're here to help you and guide you. I don't want to mislead anyone, especially potential clients, our clients, but I would fight tooth and nail before I would find myself in a facility. That's just me personally. And it doesn't matter what facility it is, because I understand how healthcare works, and there's no shade to anybody. But I understand that the load, for me at 42, I'm making provisions to where can I have, how can I afford home health care if I need it at, 70, 80, what do those assets look like? And that's why we have these different conversations with you all, because those things are important. And you have to do what you have to do. But if you can make a way, no way, I suggest that we think about those things, because the compassion is being dwindled down because of overload. And I don't think it's anything intentional. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not intentional.
Yes. And it's going to get worse because we're going to get into the baby boomer season. We're going to have more seniors with not as many caregivers. So this is very important that, you see, the value is not in the money. The money is good. You pay your rent, you pay your mortgage, you pay your phone, your car, no, you pay all of that. But there's something that lives beyond you. So one day somebody will remember you for something and you will be surprised at the reward just when you needed it most. Just when you need it most. Recently, my primary school, or what you call the elementary school here, schoolmates went to look for one of our teachers who taught us when we were 6 years old and 7 years old and 8 years old and 9 years old, who taught us. She never knew that even at that age in this season, we will gather ourselves, come together, come visit her and bring her things that we don't know that she needs it, but somebody thought about her and remembered her service. Life is so interesting. And for me, that's my perspective. Life is very interesting. How things turn around just like that. I took care of this young man. I'm older than him. He's probably about 45, 46 years old. He went out on a regular day to walk his dog. On the walkway, there was a hole. He tripped, and as I speak with you, for whatever reason, he's a quadriplegic. And I asked him one day, I said, "What is it that you miss so much?" I thought he would say, "Oh, getting out and going for a walk or other things." His answer caused me to sit down and be silent. His answer was that if I'm itchy anywhere, I will be able to scratch it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Beautiful house, everything going for him. He's stuck.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever you and I are doing today for ourselves and for others, let us remember that it is a gift.
Mm-hmm.
Health is it's wealthy. And if we
Mm-hmm.
have the opportunity to be a blessing to anybody today, be it, do
Mm-hmm.
it. And for me, that's the heart with which I come into the home care industry. If anybody told me this is what I would do, I would laugh.
Mm-hmm.
But God, and if you believe in God, has an interesting sense of humor. He knows how to maneuver our lives and develop in us what He needs us to be to get us to where He wants us to be. So the process is needed. Wherever you are in life, take it, own it, have the right mindset,
Mm-hmm.
and give it your all. Things done by house are never, ever done right.
Mm-hmm.
Give it your all. It doesn't matter whether who you're doing it for appreciates it or not, because it will. It will come back to you. It will come back to you. This is Edith. This is Peak Home Care. This is the mission. This is the vision. And even our slogan, whatsoever our hands find to do, we do it well. It's from the Bible. It's a scripture in the Bible. We do it with all our hearts. And it is my prayer that the people who work at Peak Home Care will catch the spirit. And God will allow me to have that kind of people to come. And I've met some amazing people working for us. And I'm thankful, and shout out to all the women and men who have been consistent and a blessing. And to you, Queen, you have been amazing. You have been amazing. You have given your all when you are getting nothing. And I can never thank you enough.
Thank you, Queen. Likewise. May I address something
Yes.
pertaining to our team? I want to share something with you all. A side note with just as far as etiquette with healthcare and being advocates in healthcare. Okay. Just a little side note. We do have awesome team members. Okay. I don't like to see people as employees. They're team members, right? And for me, it's important. Training is important for us. Policy and procedure is important. And all those things come with leading with compassion. And everybody does not have that compassion gene, or you do not know how to properly implement that in your everyday life. So like any other company, any other business, we do have bad apples that come through. Everybody does. I think the important thing with us as we continue to grow, we get to be personal with training. We get to be involved in the growth of our team. And so I'm definitely looking forward to that this year, us growing, us being stronger than ever in our mindsets when it comes to professionalism, to compassion, to our individual well-being, right? Because I do want to say that in healthcare, being disgruntled in the workplace and taking that to another level, I won't even address how unprofessional it is to do so, but it's harmful to clients and residents, patients. I know when I was disassociated with my last job, it was a weird situation. It was a very confusing, I would say it was hurtful if I was not surprised at how people work. It was actually a breath of fresh air in the end, but it was interesting how that happened. Have you ever been let go on your day off? Right. I worked Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 3 days a week, right? Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That next week I was supposed to be transferring to a different location because of the abuse I was taking in healthcare. That Monday they called me on my day off and they were just like, we're just gonna let you go. And I sat there for a second, really confused. I called my husband, he was at work. I said, let me tell you what happened. He's like, oh, babe, are you okay? It's okay. We'll be okay. We'll make it through. I'll take care of everything. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm good. I had to take a moment because, first of all, I had a second to think about the burnout that I was experiencing, from the COVID matter, everything like that. Never having a break from COVID, being there in the trenches every single day, being blessed never to have COVID. And in that moment, it was just like, oh, first of all, it's healthcare, so I can get another job. The disrespect, though, was just uncanny. But never once did I think to get so disrespectful. You see, I didn't name the company. I'm not going to, because it doesn't matter, right? I can't be unprofessional and write rude things and write hateful things on Yelp or wherever. I want to voice my opinion, say the most obscene, insane things, because it speaks to your character. First of all, okay, speaks to your character. And I said to say that even though I felt like I was really disrespected in an intentional way, I had to look towards I had to look for my blessing. I had to understand that, close the door, got doors all over this mansion called life. Just open another one. I love me some windows. I got this morning, open all my windows. Sunshine everywhere. Give me a crawl space to get through. And there's a blessing on the other side. So I say that to say, I want to encourage you all as healthcare workers. Healthcare is a dog profession. I never thought it would be. Coming out of nursing school, I thought it was just the greatest of the great. We are not nice people as women in healthcare to one another, first of all. It's just so cutthroat for no reason. And it does make sense, but it doesn't. It makes sense as far as a bunch of women, but it doesn't as far as a bunch of women being compassionate. So thank God for the male workers that balance it out, right? But we have to find some sense about this and be just a little more compassionate and a little more gentler. Really. And I'm grateful to you, Queen, coming in as a nurse, being able to assist where, in areas that I, like to dabble in, like with the marketing, I appreciate that. I appreciate the trust. And it is different because in healthcare, you see a lot of people, they promote from within. So if you have a whole bunch of crappy workers and you just pick the best of the best to be the, the DON, the director of nursing, or the lead, think about that. We have to have some accountability for one another as caregivers, even with families, taking care of your loved ones, as siblings or whatnot. You all need to have accountability for one another. Hey, sis, I know you always have mom. How about I take her this weekend? You and your husband need a break. How about me and mom go out, bring her over here, whatever that is. Hey, why don't I go grocery shopping for you so you don't have to take mom out? We have to be accountable for one another when it comes to the servitude that we endlessly give. Okay. And we need to be more gentle as women in healthcare, as mothers, as mothers taking care of children and now our mothers, we got to be more patient.
Yeah, those crabs in the pots. I don't know if you've heard that expression before. Crabs put in a pot and one is trying to do something and the other say, oh no, we're going to pull you down. You're not going anywhere. We are not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. Nobody's doing anything for anybody. What you don't know is that you are depriving that one person. You are depriving others who were created to benefit from whatever their passion, their purpose. This goes back to passion. Let me say this. One thing I came to learn about home care, dealing with people itself. Once again, I'm not going to separate who I am. Hello. I'm not going to separate who I am as a minister, as a child of God, as a believer from what I do as a home care agent. It is a ministry. It is a ministry, ministering to the vulnerable. Jesus said, "Have the little children come unto me." Our seniors are not little children, but they can be as vulnerable as
I
children.
like that. Vulnerable,
So
yes.
they can be vulnerable. They need us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a blessing to be needed. It's a blessing they need us. So taking care or supporting, I don't like to use the word taking care, supporting these seniors in this season of their lives is a ministry.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have the heart for it, please don't do it. If you can leave them better, leave them the way you met them, and you can leave them with them feeling worse, please don't do it. Don't chase after hours. Don't be so burned out that you work 12 hours here and 8 hours there, and go home, take a shower, and then go to the 8-hour overnight because you think that, you can get about 4 hours of sleep. And when the client is calling you and when the client is waking up over and over again, you're upset because you haven't gotten your sleep. There's the reason they need help at night.
Yeah.
You're not paid to go there and sleep. If you can sleep a little bit as the client sleeps, it's an opportunity you have to be grateful for. But they don't owe you that.
Read a book.
Read
a book. I can't fall asleep during the day at work. Read a book. Write something. Come on now. And I get it. For me, nighttime is for sleep time. I get it. But that's what your shift is. Come on, we have to do better. And as far as I will say this, Queen Edith has done the research, and she greetings to you.
Hey, Bishop.
She has done the research, and we pay quite well for our healthcare, for our healthcare workers, right? But like she said, if it's not for you, I guarantee you, White Castle, I don't know where you all listening from, but if you're in Indiana, y'all know what White Castle is. White Castle hires, I think they pay like $15 an hour. Okay.
Even Walmart is paying more. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can make some money. That's why I said it's not about the money. Job security, yes, you have. And that's another issue where people just, you don't provide the proper services, and then it's okay for you to just jump all over the place in healthcare. That is not okay. And something I've learned to do is, like, as far as being a memory care director, if dementia care is not for everybody, right? So if it's not for you, that's okay. But if you can't come to work on time, if you have an attitude, all these different things, that has nothing to do with dementia care. There's something wrong with your work ethics. So I can't just say, hey, you know what? Susan can't work on memory care. She's got to work on AL, on assisted living, because I don't want her over here. Well, I can't let Susan go without correcting and addressing that behavior. Does that make sense?
Yes.
We have to stop allowing these things. Background checks are important, and Queen's
we need to do something on hiring, but I need to add something that it is sad that we cannot tell our children when they're wrong as parents. So when they come to the workplace and they are corrected, then you are a narcissist, then you are mean, then you are wicked. People can't understand constructive criticism, constructive correction. Home care is policies and procedures, and there's HIPAA. The things not everybody understands, but you can't correct somebody. The moment you correct them, then you are everything. We need to let the children, that's why they come into the world as children, to groom them, raise them, to teach them, to educate them, to form ethics. Listen, I go to Independence Village, Fisher South, to do Bible studies every Saturday. You just asked me in this way. I wanted to sit this way so you see my background. I love it. In this weather, it's snowing, it's terrible out there. You ask me, are you gonna go? I am going to go. As long as I can drive those streets, I'm not being irresponsible. If the streets are safe and it can be driven, I will go. These people wait for me. And I do it in memory care now, believe it or not. They wait for me. They count on me. Some people come out of Bible studies happier. I think 2 weeks ago, whilst I was there, one lady needed to use the bathroom. And I could see she was frigid. You know, you know what? I turned the music on and I got up. There were gloves right there on the keyboard. I took the gloves, took this woman to the bathroom because there was no caregiver around. They were in the rooms cleaning people, and there were only 2 caregivers. And so when they came, I said, "Oh, this lady is in the bathroom," and they went to check on her and brought her back. But you see, what you do is who you are. I walk in the grocery stores, I get to parking lots, I see a senior pulling a cart, trying to put things in the car, and I naturally go to them and say, "Do you need help? Do you need help?" In the state of Indiana, sometimes as a black lady, a big black lady, I walk up to a senior and they kind of panic a little bit. And I'll say, "Listen, Edith, I'm a caregiver, and I saw you, and I thought you might need help. So if you, oh, thank you." Some say, "We need help." I'll take their cart and put it away. It's who you are. What you do really is who you are. So if it's not part of your personality, who you are, you care that much, even in the streets where nobody is watching, where nobody is paying you, where you could be considered something else, but your heart leads you to do it. You are in the right field. If you are not, you are not.
And let me piggyback off that really quickly. So when you talked about that with where being in that facility, and they look for you, they look forward to that, even with the memory care, even I'm sure some of the staff looks forward to you coming in and being a part of that, but just to be honest, I remember meeting when I met Queen Edith, like she automatically like resonated with me. Her spirit was just, I don't know, it was just amazing, it was genuine, and it was just felt, but I'll tell you, some of those girls working there at that facility had a problem with her, and this was the problem. Who does she think she is? She doesn't work here. How's she going to tell us how to do our job? Because you're not doing your job and somebody didn't tell you to. And that wasn't the case that she was doing. It was simply like, hey, just come here to see, did you do X, Y, and Z with Mr. So-and-so? Did you know Mr.
I was
So-and-so
advocating for my clients, and I always will.
And so my point to that is, do the right thing and be consistent with it, because people are going to see it. If you're doing the right thing, they'll see it and they'll praise it, or they'll see it and it'll piss them off. Excuse my language, but it will,
because it exposes I don't want to say weakness, because it's not a weakness. It's I don't want to say I don't care, but it's their attitude. It exposes that they are not doing their best. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. So integrity is key. Integrity is certainly key this season, right? Having purpose, being purpose driven in everything you do. If you're a caregiver, we can switch back to family members taking care. Be purpose driven. Plan your days out, plan your weeks out, plan the rest of your life out, little by little. You're home with your loved one, your work schedule, you might have children, in school, all those different things. Take some time to plan ahead for this year and plan to where you can make it happen. Oh, I can't wait. One of these days I'm gonna go on vacation. One of these days I'm gonna get back to so-and-so. Go ahead and get there. We're certainly here for it. If you need vacation time, you need respite time, Peak Homecare Associates is definitely here for that. We want to help you. We are here to help you. And we hope you know that we are genuine. We're certainly here for that. So make sure you take some time, find some balance this year. I don't know about you all, but last Saturday came and went. Last month came and went. Last January has come and gone. So we think that we have a whole nother year. Look at it like you have just today. What would you do just for today? How can you help those that you love, that you care for, just for today? How can you live your best life today? Those that you take care of, how can you help them live their best lives? Such and such needs to scratch their back. They've been on their back all day. If this person that was working before you don't care, go in there and reposition him and scratch his back, like Queen just said. You know what I'm saying? Makes all the difference.
It makes
Say
the
good
difference.
morning. I just love going to work in the morning at breakfast time. I spoke to every single resident, touched them on the shoulder, on the back. Hello,
You
someone got
greeted
hugged.
everybody. You were like me. You greeted everybody. I was like, good morning, everybody, and nobody even responded. It
Yeah,
doesn't even matter.
because you know what I noticed? This is what I noticed. When, say, if I came in and said good morning to Mr. Smith and Miss Jones, well, everybody else is looking, but you come and say hello to everybody, so they're looking like, well, what about me? You're not going to say, you don't see me. And I noticed that. You don't see me, you see Mr. Jones, say hi to me. And it was a look on their faces, like they didn't want to be overlooked just by a good morning. Those things are important. They matter. Hugs matter. Oh, I will hug a resident in a heartbeat. Oh my Lord, I love hugging my people. I do. I hug on their family members. I love it. There is nothing like just, oh no, just for me, the compassion, just being
Loving
in
these
it.
people. There's
Yeah.
no love
And
these
feeling that love
people.
back, is something, it's so priceless. It's so priceless. And if
And
you are taking care of
valuable.
someone
That's
in
for
your
sure.
home, if you're taking care of your loved ones, it can be burnout, but just know, we only have so much time with them. My family had the hardest time January 10th. My maternal grandmother passed 2 years ago. My paternal grandmother passed the year before that on January 7th, which is my mother's birthday.
Oh.
So it was, and it was just a difficult time and just reflecting. Um, and if with my grandmother going to the hospital with COVID, like I told them, I want my grandmother home. I don't care. Like, I would have moved heaven and earth for my grandmother to be home. If my husband and I had to sleep on the floor, that's like there was understanding, even if there wasn't. That was a distance I would go for that. And I really miss that. So don't take those things for granted.
Don't at all. And I'll say this for my final words is this. Life is getting harder every day.
Mm-hmm.
So if your job is not bringing you fulfillment,
Mm-hmm.
find something that fulfills you.
Right.
You may not pay as much money, but find something that you will do, go back home and feel like, wow, I love what I do. Be
Yes.
fulfilled, find fulfillment, pursue fulfillment because it's a sign that that is really your purpose. When money is not the ultimate goal, it comes in as a benefit and it's great, but you are also fulfilled in what you do. For
Mm-hmm.
me, these are my final words. And listen, if you're an employee of somebody, today you're employed, you're working for somebody, give it your all. Give it your all because one day it's gonna pay off. Your employer may not do anything, but we don't work for our employers. I have had that attitude. I never work for my employer. Though they hire me and they pay me, God use them. Find fulfillment. Find your purpose. Don't
Mm-hmm.
add on to the hardness and the roughness of this world. Find your purpose. Be fulfilled and enjoy this gift of life because tomorrow is not promised. And for us at Peak Home Care, we will continue to give our best because we are here to serve. Queen.
Yes. I'm sorry, I get teary eyed when I talk about my grandparents. I do have one grandmother that I had to go see today. So shout out to my third grandmother. Yeah, my apologies. I try to not to have those conversations for that reason. So yeah, we really want to encourage you to just live your best life this year. Love on one another. Accept love. Accept some help. Accept counsel and guidance. And correction. All those things lead to growth. All those things lead to personal success. If you can care for your loved one and they're happy, you succeeded, right? If you can balance out your life with your spouse and your family, you've succeeded. Small wins are great wins, right?
Mm.
because we're so quick to take an L when we get frustrated, when we get confused. We're so quick to throw our hands up. Take it one win at a time. And for the shortcomings, as long as you're trying, they're not failures. They're just delays in the lesson, right? So always strive to do better, be better, receive better. Okay. Caregivers, take care of yourselves. So you can be totally equipped. I always say that glass half full, half empty thing. It doesn't matter. It's not enough for me, right? So I want abundance. I want you see the commercial, they're pouring and it starts overflowing out the glass. That's what I want. You keep pouring, don't pay attention. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to keep pouring and produce that abundance.
And you will be poured into. You will
Yes.
be poured into.
Yes, thank you, Queen. And we all deserve that. You know if you deserve it, and if you don't, you can step up your game so you can. So we want to encourage you all. We do love you all so much. We are so grateful for you all tuning in. We appreciate you liking and sharing. In the description, our YouTube channel link is on there. Please go over to YouTube under Peak Homecare Associates and sign up there and increase that algorithm. Check out our website. Check out our Facebook page. I did not put the
review our videos. Give us some reviews. You like us? Yes. You don't like us? How can we improve? What can we do better? What topics should we bring? Next week we'll try and talk about how that your loved one could use help. Mm-hmm. And I think we'll find time for the Queen to show us how talk about care costs and how we can figure out how to gather money, gain money, tax write-offs and all of that. That's a huge thing she does, and I think it's a topic that's very important to our listeners.
Yes. And again, I just want to say this. Consider this, even if you just need companionship. I might call Queenie. I've been trying to get her over here to cook for me. I love me some African food, some spicy African food. Shoot.
And actually one of these Saturdays or Sunday afternoon, you guys will have to come to church with me. And after church, I would cook and we come home and we eat and have a good Queen what do you call it? Peak Homecare Associates time.
Oh, I would love that.
Management. I'd love that very much. So let's plan towards it.
Yes.
And maybe we can do a live and share our happiness and whatever we are doing with the world. Who knows? Maybe we won't. Who knows? But definitely, I'll cook you some nice African hot spicy food.
I love it. Thank you. So y'all got to keep up. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe so you can see how that's going. Okay. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like and share. I think our content is positive, so you don't have to be afraid. We're not going to say anything out of sorts. So please definitely like and share, repost on your platforms, on multiple platforms. We appreciate it. We definitely support you all. And we look forward to doing this again next Saturday, same time, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, on YouTube, on Facebook. You can catch our videos on our webpage. Okay. So until next time, you have anything else, Queen?
Until next time, we love you. Have yourself an amazing week. And remember, pursue fulfillment, not the money. Money will come.
Peace, love, and blessings.
Bye.